Hello YouTube. Today we're going to talk about Teamspeak. I'm going to go ahead and show you how to run it, but not only that, how to set it up. I've looked at YouTube extensively and not found very many extensive videos about this. They all just assume everyone knows everything. So with that in mind, let's get right into it. To install Teamspeak, first of all, we want to go ahead and open up our Internet Explorer. We can do this by hitting on the icon for Internet Explorer. I've gone ahead and took out some of the legwork for us by searching for Teamspeak on two different search engines. I searched it on Bing and on Google. This is what it looks like for Bing. If you just type in Teamspeak space 3, this will come up. And alternatively on Google, if you type in Teamspeak /3, this will come up. I'm going to personally use Bing. That's just my personal preference though. So if we click on the second link for the Teamspeak official site, this will go ahead and take us to the actual Teamspeak official site. Right off the bat, over here we can see their download page. So if we click this will go ahead and take us to their download page. Once we're at the download page, we are presented with a few options. These options are, first of all, if we are running Windows, Linux, or a Mac machine. Myself, I'm running Windows, but you could be running a Mac or Linux. So let's just cover Windows for right now. The second thing we need to figure out is if we're running a 32-bit system or a 64-bit system. This can be found by going to your system information and looking at it. But a good rule of thumb I always use is if you're running on a laptop or some sort of tablet or anything, it's probably a 32-bit system. If you're running on a desktop, it's probably a 64-bit system. But everyone's different. I would suggest you can go ahead and go to system information and look at that if you're just so unsure. So for right now, let's go ahead and go to the 64-bit system and let's hit download. Now a progress bar will go ahead and open and allow us to go ahead and start downloading. I apologize for my internet speed. It's kind of slow right now and should be done pretty shortly. And there you go. It's done and ready to run the setup program. So we're going to go ahead and run this. I will warn you, my screen will go black once I hit run for a second. That's just because my recording program is sort of outdated. So once we hit run, the actual setup will run. So now we're going to go ahead and install the program. So we hit next on here, and this is the actual license agreement. We should go ahead and read this over. I've already read this over, so I'm just going to go ahead and scroll down through this. But I mean, please take the time to go ahead and read this over if you haven't. There are some really good information. There is some really good information that could help you out if something goes wrong. So click on I accept the terms of agreement and then click on next. This is not really an important part of the installation if you don't have the need to use some sort of parental controls for your Teamspeak. Now if you have children or someone who you don't feel should be using Teamspeak, this is great, because you can install it just for the current user you are logged into. So what that means is if you have children who play games and such on a different user and they're logged into that, you can install it for just yourself, or you can install it for everybody. I only have one user on this computer, so I'm only just going to install it for myself. Now, this is the most important step, and what I mean by that is, while the others are pretty important, this is where you're going to actually install the program. Make sure you choose a good installation point that you remember, because in later videos I will go ahead and cover where we can install different things like themes and sound packs. So just make sure you remember where other things like this are saved at. So I'm just going to use the default, which is on the C drive. So we're going to go ahead and click on next, and this is just sort of a thing for if you're doing troubleshooting for Teamspeak. You can restart. You can reinstall Teamspeak rather, and go ahead and go from there. Not really a thing you need to worry about. This is a program called Overwolf that'll go ahead and provide you an overlay. It's not something I personally use, but you're more than welcome to. Well, let's go ahead and click on next. And this is for your shortcuts, so that you can go ahead and if you want a shortcut, say in your accessories, you can do that from here. Let's go ahead and do that now, and we'll click install. And now we're installing the program, and it's installed now. Now, what we're gonna, it should do this automatically, but make sure that the Run Teamspeak client is checked before you do finish, and then we do finish, and Teamspeak will go ahead and start. Now, what I'm going to warn you about is that my Teamspeak is what you would call tricked out, meaning it has a custom theme on it as well as a custom sound pack on it, beyond many other things. I'll cover how to do that in later videos, but for now, let's go ahead and cover bookmarks, because this is a really good way to save all your servers rather, and make sure you don't have to write anything down on a small slip of paper somewhere. So let's get right into that. So bookmarks is a great way to go ahead and save all your servers. First thing you want to do is go to Manage Bookmarks, which alternatively can be opened by a CTRL plus B. So as you can see, I have a lot of book folders and servers, and it's really organized. So earlier today, I went ahead and created a folder, and a fake folder and a fake server. So with that, we called it Frank's folder, and the actual server is called Frank's Happy Place. So making a folder is pretty easy. You just click on this folder icon, name the folder, and you're done. Making a server, it takes a little more work, but we're going to go over it in a couple of seconds. So making a server, it's pretty easy. You just go ahead and pick your label. This is what you'll be calling the server, as like a nickname or something, such as Frank's Happy Place. Now the address is what will be given to you by whoever gives you the server info, meaning the address. It probably won't be called frankfrank.typefrag.net. But there's always different kinds of servers out there, and who's to say? So next is your nickname. I go by Conflict, so that's why I'm putting that there. As a rule of thumb, I try to stay away from any kind of profanity or any kind of obscene words or anything. And finally, our server password is what will be given to us by the actual people who set the server up. So it could be catsdog22. But just make sure you type that in correctly, or copy and paste it in there, because you won't be able to see the actual password when you type it in. So once we have all the info, you just click on apply, and then OK. Now, obviously, we're not going to go to Frank's happy place. We're going to go to a server I usually go to, which is Eternity Gaming. Now we're in the actual server. We can see all sorts of different things, such as different rooms, different channels, and the overall server. Now, granted, there's not a lot of people on this server at 1:50 in the morning, but that'll change throughout the day. And I think that's about everything I can show you in this video about Teamspeak. I hope you've learned a lot, and I hope you have a great time connecting to Teamspeak, using Teamspeak, and talking in Teamspeak. If you like this video, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I'll be coming out with more videos in the future, and most of all, have a nice day.